out one whole process. When you read, you have to filter it through your brain and make a picture. Instead of the picture just being there for you.
Yeah, I need to return this book.
I'm sorry, we can't take this book back.
Why not?
It's been flagged.
Flagged?
It's been in the bathroom.
It says that on the computer?
Please take it home. We don't want it near the other books.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count our chairs.
You think we're gonna be a little more positive today?
You heard about it.
Because here's the
way
thing.
the day started, I'm going to say no.
Really?
Definitely no.
Rough start to the day?
Did I have something to do with that?
Definitely was gasoline on the fire.
What did Joshy do?
Yeah. Joshy's Joshy. Joshy's great. I just want this, whatever I have, to be gone.
Whatever lingering effects you're feeling?
It's just like hang time, all right. It's going in the end zone. Who cares if it's 7-second hang time? Right? You're dropping it at the one? Fine.
I had a similar illness probably a month ago, and I had a lingering congestion for like 2 weeks after I was done being sick. So
the nice thing about it, though, is my wife doesn't beat me in bed when I'm snoring because I'm sick.
So so what you're saying is it has your positives. I'm not gonna lie, Joshy. The way that sentence started, I was a little concerned.
Yep. I thought we were getting intimate details that we didn't necessarily need.
No. And I asked her, because I had a bruise on my lip last night, and I'm like, or not last night, last week, out of nowhere.
You had a bruise on your lip?
Yes. Out of nowhere. And I said, was that you?
And she denied?
I'm like, it's kind of the shape of a ring.
Wait.
Was there a backhand involved?
Wait. So you are sleeping so deeply at times that even though your wife may or may not, allegedly, I guess we have to put out there because I don't want to, accuse your wife of anything that she did not actually do.
Yes.
You're telling me it's possible that you're in such deep of a sleep that your wife could allegedly backhand you with her wedding ring?
Yes.
And it would not wake you up to the point where you would realize what happened. You would have to look in the mirror the next morning and go, oh, I have a bruise. Did you do this?
If it's a Friday or Saturday. And you guys should know that.
Same.
Right? Yeah.
Same, brother. Same.
Is that warrant a backhand snoring?
So look, have I snored? Yes. Am I chronic snorer? Absolutely not. So it's never really been an issue. I have never been with anybody who has also been a snorer. So I don't know the escalating frustration of you trying to sleep while your partner next to you is snoring. I don't know that. So I cannot accurately testify on whether or not that is warranted.
I think her problem is she waits for the snore. So she'll wait an hour and a half staying up just to wait for the snore.
Wait, you're telling me she's sitting in the corner of the room, just kind of, all right.
Having a hard time buying that one.
It's coming. It's coming. There it is. Whack!
I think you're taking the conspiracy theory too far for me on that one.
Well, I do that. I do tend to do that.
I don't think she's waiting in the corner for you to snore.
No.
I think the desires for her to sleep and your snoring is so bad that it just wakes her up.
I don't think it is bad. It might be a heavy breathe.
I'll tell you what, not many people are getting smacked for their snoring, so it can't be good.
Do you get smacked?
I've been pushed, but mainly that's because I'm just a wild sleeper, and I creep over onto the other side of the bed, and I don't even really notice it, and then I'll there are times where I wake up and I'm like, whoa.
I burned a hole. I burned a hole in the sheets last week because I fidget with my feet.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I've done something similar.
I thought you were talking about
bed or something?
No, I thought you were farting so bad that's what you were calling it.
I had lots of follow-up questions. I didn't know if you were actually playing with fire in the sheets.
Do you do that?
What?
Shuffle your feet at night?
I don't think so. I'm a pretty
where it literally wears the sheets out.
yeah. Oh, I could
Yeah.
imagine that.
I've done that.
Okay.
I'm a pretty. I mean, I'm pretty much a log. I go down.
Do you
I'm out.
move?
I'll turn maybe once or twice in the night.
Okay.
You know, every once in a while I get too close to the edge, so like you just got to get.
Like, do you guys
Back
shave
to the
your
middle.
feet? Like, get the callus off? I tell you what, there's no better feeling than that. I mean, I used to have people do it for me, but I do it myself now. It's just a wonderful feeling.
Do you use one of those like
Like
machines?
it's like a file.
Okay.
No, you know what it is? It's you could use it on cheese.
Yeah, it's a grater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
grater.
grater. Yeah,
Oh, so lovely.
like a microplane.
Yeah, not a mandolin.
No.
You should stay away from all
I
mandolins.
should stay away from
I
mandolins
have
after
a
I sliced the
mandolin.
part
I
of my
didn't know it was
finger off.
called a mandolin. Though.
Yeah.
Those are not good.
If you got to make sure you've got the protector on.
Yeah.
And that's just for cheese?
No, so when I sliced
Veggies.
I sliced it. I was making like sliced potatoes.
Yeah.
That's what I was using the mandolin for.
Seems like a lot of work.
It really isn't, because that turns out that the knife part of the mandolin
Yeah.
really sharp.
It is really sharp.
efficient.
Yes.
If you don't take a piece of your finger with it. I haven't used it since. I've been terrified.
Yeah. I love a sharp
Because I don't
knife,
know, like it was one of those things that, because it was at the old apartment, and I figured like, oh, the protector thing that comes with it, it'll show up when we move. Never showed up. I have no idea where like
how
that
often
went.
do you guys, well, scratch that.
No.
You both have beards. I was just going to say, how long do you hold on to a razor?
Oh, I've
How
just
many
got,
times do you change out a razor in a year's length?
I've
You
had the
both
same
have
razor
beards.
since 2019.
I shave 5
Yeah,
times a week.
Yeah, I've got an electric that I just kind of clean up the neck.
I clean up the cheeks too.
Yeah,
for
a
any
little
curling.
bit. Try to keep that nice and tight.
When are you going to lose the beard?
I don't know. Maybe never.
Josh?
I mean, I've been banned from removing the. There was a time I offered up during Gabe's MacFun fundraiser where I threw out the idea of shaving my beard for a certain amount of donation, and I was quickly shot down. So that's how I ended
By
up with
Mussolini?
tattoos.
Wait, what? Couldn't you just explain it's for the kids?
Yeah, that was non-negotiable. so now I have permanent tattoos instead.
That was the trade-off?
Yeah, that'll teach her. Yeah. Now Homer's face is on Josh's calf.
I think it's an age thing. I really do.
Really? Well, because I had an uncle who like always had a beard.
Really?
Always had a beard when I was growing up. Always had the beard. Like, I'm terrified to know what I would look like without the beard.
Yeah, I don't want to see my face without it.
Like, because
Doesn't it bother your significance and your spouses?
no, she
I
again.
mean, when my wife doesn't shave, it bothers the hell out of me.
Jeez.
But like Joshy, mine encourages. So I just started growing a beard just to see if I could.
Yep.
Like, I know exactly when it was. I hadn't shaved for a couple of days, and one of my buddies went, "What happened? What would happen if you grew a beard?" I'm like, I don't know. Let's find out. And I used to have. It was more stubbly and kind of kept it a little tighter. And then when I got back from Scotland,
It was out of control.
well, because my razor was in my bag of the clothes
That didn't make
that
it.
didn't make it, and I didn't have it, and I kept believing the airline that it was going to show up, so I didn't want to buy a new one.
I do remember that, yes.
So my beard got pretty long, and my wife encouraged me to keep it long.
Really?
So now I do a better job of
I didn't like
making
it long.
sure. Well, this is a little
Looked
bit
too
longer.
unkept.
I've gotten better at kind of trimming it and keeping it a little
Yeah.
more neat. But my wife encourages me to have a beard.
Yeah, facial hair doesn't look good on me. I mean, just look at the Super Bowl.
The goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Favre,
mean,
he's such a fraud.
I don't know about goatees on anyone.
Why?
I don't know. Brett's goatee in the 90s made sense. In the 90s, it made sense because
Okay.
goatees were the thing in the 90s.
Who's got the best looking goatee?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You think?
I mean,
Me.
because here's the thing about goatees. I don't know if anybody, a lot of things from the 90s have come back. I don't know if the goatee has really ever come back.
I mean,
like if you have a goatee, you still have it from the 90s. That's why Stone Cold Steve Austin still has his.
I just Googled it. Idris Elba has a goatee. That's a handsome-looking man with a goatee.
You know what? All right. It's great. You know what?
Yeah. Competition's over.
Yeah, that's it. That's the list. Like everybody else is playing for second at this point.
What's the origin of goatee? Where's it come from? Any idea?
I feel like pirates.
If I had to guess, put one out there. Yeah, pirates could be out
dude?
there. You just Googling goatees over there?
Yeah. That dude's
What the hell's going on?
The goatee really caught on in the 17th century thanks to a Flemish painter named Anthony van Dyck.
Okay.
Thank you for your service.
That dude's got a good-looking goatee.
Oh, Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Another good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like if you're attractive, you can just pull off a goatee.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brad Pitt had one for a while. Brad Pitt's had a lot of different facial hair, but, I mean, Brad Pitt's not going to look bad in anything. Jeff Jenkins, another one thrown out there. But again, Jeff Jenkins with a goatee made sense because him and Brett Favre looked exactly alike when they were playing.
I used to call him Brett.
Brett's?
Yeah. He did. He looked.
Oh,
it could have been brothers. Put it this way: Jenkins looked more like Brett's brothers than Brett's brothers.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember that as a kid when Jeff Jenkins first showed up.
Yeah.
How does Wisconsin have two athletes that look this similar?
Crazy.
They both had goatees. Can we find a picture of Chewy with a goatee and put it out on socials?
Yeah, it wasn't good. Not Russell.
Found it.
Yeah.
There's a picture on eBay right now. 1996.
What do you think?
It's a little faint.
What do you mean faint?
Like it's not as strong as
you
Brett's.
kept it too tight. It was very, very close still even then. Because it kind of looks like you just have a 5 o'clock shadow that you then shaved around.
All right, and then go Frank. Because Frank we all decided to grow it, keep it through the game, and then shave after. And of course, Mr. Quarterback decides to shave before the game, breaking the pact.
It's probably why he didn't win game MVP.
Good. He shouldn't.
Went to Desmond instead.
Loyalty issues there. Frank, but Frank can't wear hats because he has a tiny head.
It kind of comes to a point.
No, he has a tiny head.
Really?
Yes.
For a big guy, he's got a tiny head.
He cannot wear hats.
But the goatee looked all right. I can't remember him with the goatee from when I was a kid.
Yeah, Frank with the goatee's fine.
There is a Mark Chmura 1996 playoff contenders genuine leather number 82 Green Bay Packers card for sale, $379. I think we should just buy it.
Why would it be 80? Why 82?
I don't know.
Well, it's just
I think it's
82 out of whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And that one features you with a goatee. Your helmet's off. You appear to be like on the sideline walking back.
Pretty good goatee?
Yeah, pretty good goatee.
Because here's the thing. I mean, Chewy does look good without the facial hair.
Yeah, facial hair on me. And I've never had a beard. Never.
What would happen if you grew a beard?
I'd itch. It'd drive me insane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
After
Not a
this
fan.
long, you can't make the transition? Because that's
Like
what I
long
thought.
hair. I've never had long hair. Have you had long hair?
Yeah, I mean, I had the...
You had great hair.
I
You
had-
choked.
Now my hair's receding. Maybe I'm getting punished for
I
not
hope
having
so.
the long hair.
Start calling you Favre. I could see Joshy with long hair.
Yeah?
I did have long hair back in high school, but now, much like Gabe's, I don't really have much hair to hold on to up there.
Yeah.
We're holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it's
Holding on to whatever we've got left.
all right.
All right. I don't know how we landed on goatees this morning, but we do have, because here's the thing. I did want to talk a little bit more about this because some of the reaction that we got, like, it doesn't seem like people are, and again, I don't think we were panicking yesterday. I think we were just trying to go, hey, maybe they're not quite ready yet. Maybe this preseason hasn't gone the way the Packers would exactly want it. So I'm curious to see what Jason Wilde has to say, because obviously he's there for every practice that they have, and I want to know what he thinks in terms of how important this practice with the Ravens is and how important the game on Saturday is, and we will talk to Jason Wilde about that coming up next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, Looks like there's an accident now, 894 northbound right at Lincoln Avenue off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Northbound 43 is going to be slow from North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 894 through the construction zone, slowing down just west of 27th Street all the way to about 68th. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for a free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dnbparty.com to get started. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 71. Tonight, mostly clear, cool, a low of 56 at the lake, 48 inland. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Monica, Sarah, have you heard the good news?
What is it? Joe Gerke says our new store in Bristol, Wisconsin, otherwise known as Kenosha, will be open this autumn. Kessler's Diamonds is opening a new store.
Indeed we are. It's located off I-94 and Highway 50.
We should reach out and tell people in the area that we're hiring.
Monica, that microphone is on. Tell them what we're looking for.
Do you love people? Do you smile a lot? Are you the person that all your friends come to when they need help or advice? Kessler's Diamonds is one of the top engagement ring stores in America.
And we're also the largest employee-owned jewelry company in the world.
You're going to love working for Kessler's Diamonds. You're going to love shopping at Kessler's Diamonds.
Diamond engagement rings.
Diamond tennis bracelets. Diamond stud earrings.
Diamond anniversary bands.
And big anniversary diamonds. We do diamonds magnificently because diamonds are all we do.
To apply for a job or find out more about us, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Looking for a better used car interest rate? At Wilde, we make it easy to save thousands during the used car rate reduction event. Get rates as low as 4.9% on Wilde Automotive Group's best used cars. 4.9% on over 600 vehicles at 10 locations. Increase your purchase power with a better used car from the name Milwaukee has trusted for 60 years. Don't wait. Get a better rate. Available to very well qualified customers. Up to $20,000 financed for up to 48 months. See dealer for details. Offer ends August 31st.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. Joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jason.
What's up, dudes?
Hi, guy.
Jason, how would you describe the Packers' preseason and training camp so far? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Are they ready for the regular season? How would you describe it?
Well, I don't know if they're ready for the regular season. I don't think Matt LaFleur thinks they are, right? I mean, based on how he behaved after the game.
100%.
Talked after the game. So, again, I don't know. Chewy would know this better than I do, but how do you know? I mean, I'm not sure that I've seen anything that I'm like, boy, okay, they're good to go for Brazil. Now, I haven't been to a single Philadelphia Eagles practice either, so who the heck knows if they're ready. And I would argue that most teams probably aren't ready, right, based on the way they approach preseason and who plays and who doesn't and all that stuff. So I think that part is anybody's guess. As far as, how their camp has gone, I mean, I think it's been pretty, I don't want to say lame. That would be derogatory. But it hasn't been, if they were doing Hard Knocks on the Packers, I've been kind of disappointed with the first 2 episodes on the Bears. It's just kind of meh. And I kind of feel like this training camp for them has been kind of meh, right? Like, Love has not been star-spangled awesome where you're really excited about where he's at. I was going to, at least going into Denver, I was going to say that, I was really encouraged by the defense and the success they've had against Love in the offense. But then at the same time, like, Bo Nix and the Broncos' number 1 offense had a fair amount of success against the Packers' defense in Denver. I wasn't there, but based on people that I talked to that were, the defense struggled, not as much as the offense struggled, and then obviously not as much as the backup struggled on Sunday night. But so I don't have a great feel, even though I've been to every practice. I don't, other than the Denver one. I don't have a great feel for how good they are, how ready they are, or even what's been most compelling. There's not even like a, plucky little undrafted free agent that you're really rooting for who's going to beat the odds. Like, there's not even that, hasn't really even been that storyline so far in camp.
The strange thing to me, Jason, is how they talk about how great a camp this guy's playing when they're in helmets, in shorts. It's like that's how all Oneida came about. Because back in the day, coaches didn't care. Like, well, you're in helmets and shorts. Anybody can look great there, But there's so many questions like Quay Walker. What kind of camp have you had? Devontae Wyatt. I mean, there's so many question marks for me on the defensive side of the ball, and I didn't expect, what happened. And I really don't care about the game because the game was vanilla, their coverages, which is fine.
Well, in the game that the twos were playing, and
sure, but to get worked in a scrimmage against a team that is probably going to win 8 games, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, they may be they may be the second best team in the West. They may not be. I don't know how the quarterback's going to be, but right. No, I agree. I mean, I don't know what the Chargers are going to be. I don't know what the Raiders are going to be. But your point is that this is not a team where you're thinking, okay, these guys are going to go deep in the playoffs, right? Now, here's the other issue. Like you mentioned, Devontae Wyatt. That's a great example. Like he had those back-to-back plays in the game against Cleveland, where he got penetration, rushed pressured the quarterback. One led to a sack by Van Ness. The other one led to an incomplete pass. But that wasn't their starting offensive line. Like, for all of the, the 3 plays and a touchdown to Dontavion Wicks, or 8 plays by the defense, and then the first team defense is out. Like, okay, they did to the Browns offense and defense of number 2s what the Broncos did to the Packers number 2s, right? I mean, It was for a shorter time because they didn't stay in the game as long as the Broncos guys did. But so not even that leads to any sort of feeling. And I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I still don't want my guys, and I understand that this is me being the helicopter beat writer that I am, but I still don't want my guys playing in the games that don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would rather, and I always bring up 2021 as the example. Like, I don't even care if I get boat raced in the opener. Like, the Green Bay Packers of 2021 had their quarterback win the NFL MVP for the 4th time in his career. They were the number 1 seed and had the best record in the NFC and had a bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Forget that they squandered it. And they started their season with a 38-3 loss to the Saints. So, you know, I am of the belief that preseason not only doesn't matter, but isn't worth the risk. And again, I am guilty of this because I, like Ted Thompson, believe that you should put your best players in bubble wrap. You should work them hard in practice where the environment is controlled, but you should put them in bubble wrap. And then I was there in Pittsburgh, and I understand that changed. A lot of the people that were there then aren't there now. You know, Goody was, I think Goody had moved to Green Bay then and was one of Ted's lieutenants in Green Bay by then. But I just don't know how you have a season completely derailed, which is what happened that day, by losing a first-team All-Pro wide receiver who was coming off the best year of his career and was one of the best players in the entire league in 2014. I don't know how you aren't scarred by that if you were there at the time. So, again, I don't have a problem with playing it safe, but at the same time, if you're going to ask me questions, which are valid questions, about how ready they are, because of the way they've approached it and the way I believe they should approach it, I don't know the answer to that.
Jason, are there two schools, though? Remember back in the day, Jason, in the 90s, there was the Bill Parcells camp, and then there was the Bill Walsh camp. And we were in the Bill Walsh camp. And our camp, which is 800 times tougher than what they do today, was still the soft part of camp because Parcells' camps were nuts.
Look, you just quickly, Jason, before you answer. I love how, because you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong. Yeah. But you had to make sure that you pointed out, even though you had the soft camp from the 90s, it would be just light years of the guys today.
Of course. Are there two? Is there an Andy Reid camp and is there a Matt LaFleur camp? Because I think Matt LaFleur deserves a lot of blame here because if you treat them like bubble wrap, then sometimes they're going to practice like bubble wrap. And I think we saw that in Denver.
Yeah, all right. First of all, I'm going to defend Chewy here because while it is the siren song of a former player, he's right. Not wrong. He's absolutely right to get the, I don't know, about 800 times tougher than what they do now.
Like 500? More like 500 or 400?
Seems like a little bit of hyperbole there, but be that as it may. It is that there's no denying that. And look, I would not know this because I don't do a lot of work with my hands. There are men and women who do much harder jobs than me typing and talking into a microphone. But the whole idea of getting calloused because you work with your hands and then your hands can handle whatever the difficult tasks are you're doing with them in your job, there's something to that for a football team too, right?
Yeah.
Getting calloused so you can handle being tackled. Like there are, like at this point, right, if Jordan Love doesn't play on Saturday, the first time he will actually be hit is when he throws a pass against the Eagles in Sao Paulo, right? Because I don't think he was hit on the second down pass that he threw to Jacobs in the flat for a 2-yard loss, and I don't think he was hit on the touchdown pass to Wicks. So that'll be the first time he gets hit. Is that a problem? Probably not. But the other guys, certainly, not quarterbacks, but everybody else, like, again, I do think that that is very valid. As far as Walsh versus Parcells, I mean, we're in an era where there's a lot of things Bill Parcells did. Incredibly successful coach, Hall of Fame coach, that he would not be able to do today. I do think that there is a, whatever you want to call it, the Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, Zach Taylor, Kevin O'Connell type of. I think all those guys do the same stuff. And I saw something that Brady said. I know we don't have time to get into this, but Brady talking about how, not only should quarterbacks not play right away as rookies, but that they've dumbed down the game for them. And I'll say this, Rodgers once said that the offense that LaFleur runs is like offense for dummies, because it's designed so you don't have to be a supercomputer processor like him and Brady and all of these other quarterbacks. It's I don't know, I think he said dummy proof, if I remember right. But it's so much easier. And whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, those guys can all debate that. But the fact of the matter is that this is another example, whether it's how they handle camp or how the offense is designed. Like, coaches, I would argue more than ever, have more influence because they're playing a lot of young guys. The college game has changed. I just think it's really interesting that there's such a proliferation of these type of coaches who are all having success, by the way. So you can't rip them for it. But it's just, this is where the stuff that Chewy brings up about it being a totally different game is 800% valid.
Jason, who's had a good camp?
Evan Williams has had a good camp. I was really excited the other day when I was talking to him because, one of the first things that I had said, I might have said it here, or I don't know, I'm on so many of our shows that I forget where I say things sometimes. That's why I use the word again all the time, by the way, Gabe, for picking on me for using that word so much. I thought, the first thing I thought when I saw him, and he even wears the same number, and I heard Kuhn mention it during the game, and I was like, hey, I said that a while ago, is that he reminds me of Micah Hyde. Mm-hmm. And I actually asked Evan about that last week, and he's like, yeah, I used to watch Micah Hyde tape all the time. So now I got to get a hold of Micah, who was one of my guys when he was here, because, first of all, he's going to feel very old that there is a player on the roster now going, God, yeah, he really used to watch Micah Hyde tape, and I really am excited to be compared to him. But he's had a good camp, and he's had 4 interceptions. He's had a strong camp. I think Dobbs was having a really strong camp. It's been a little bit quieter for the last week or so. I think Watson was making basically one play a day down the field, which is obviously really encouraging with him. The guy that I thought was, and this is a very clear sign that my assessment was right and that the coaches certainly feel this way about him, but I thought A.J. Dillon was having a good camp. And the fact that they didn't play him on Sunday night makes me think, okay, well, they clearly think that he's the number 2, right? Otherwise, you don't hold him out. You want to see more. So I think those are some of the guys that spring to mind. I mean, the problem is, and again, I don't want to sound like Chewy, but it would be nice if, and I know it's risky, but it would be nice if they had more live periods, because I don't know, and maybe Chewy, you could tell me, like, how much can you tell from thud? Like, you square up, you're in the right spot to tackle. Those are all important things. I get it. But I'm still not sure that I have a great feel for, how effective of tacklers these guys are going to be, because this system, if you're going to be this aggressive, is reliant on being sure tackling players. Because if you're not, and you've got everybody rallying to the ball, some misdirection can cause you some major problems.
Jason, we appreciate the time, bud, and look forward to talking to you on Thursday before the Packers have a joint practice against the Ravens.
Are they all dude days this week?
All dude days.
We're all duded up.
Jen jumped on a flight last night to Ireland. College Game Day coming to you Saturday live from Ireland.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's awesome for her, and we will miss her, but I'll talk to you dudes later in the week.
Sounds good, dude.
All right, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I want to just continue kind of that conversation a little bit coming up next about Packers training camp and what lies ahead for the rest of the week. We do that next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
We do have an accident on northbound 894 right about at Lincoln Avenue off on the right shoulder. It's enough to cause some delays. Now starting to slow down just north of Beloit Road. Westbound 94 a little tight through the Stadium interchange. Eastbound slowing down from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound 894 heavy out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th. And northbound 43 watch for delays from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 71. Tonight, mostly clear, cool, a low of 56 at the lake, 48 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
The all-new season of Futurama is streaming on Hulu.
That's great, but I have to warn you, it's completely brilliant.
The interplanetary hit is back.
The very survival of Earth is at stake. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt? Nobody's okay. Everybody's hurt.
Watch the all-new season of Futurama.
That's the best damn show I ever saw.
New episodes Mondays, streaming only on Hulu.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's a lot of sodas now that are prebiotic sodas
they
as
don't
well.
work. They're called poop.
What?
No, they're really called poop, I think. You buy them on Amazon.
I thought you were going to stop talking.
You got a lot of brust in you. You know that?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Moving along on a Hughes Day. Every Tuesday, playing songs from Huey Lewis in the News, which, by the way, at some point in the show, I do want to put together a Jen, Gabe, and Chewy playlist. Maybe we can put it out on Spotify or something. Just like Kirk Cousins had a playlist for his birthday yesterday. We'll dive into that later. But we were just talking, Chew, and Jason had brought this up during his segment, about how this is a dumbed down, and Tom Brady had said something like this on the Stephen A. Smith show as well. That's kind of what got us on this. But when Rodgers or players like that, like Tom Brady, saying that this is a dumbed-down version, a lot of these offenses, the Mike McDaniel, the Sean McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur, that tree, this type of offense is dumbed down. What does that mean in your head? Because I don't think anybody ever said the West Coast offense that Mike Holmgren runs is a dumbed-down offense in the NFL.
And I don't have a lot of experience with the offenses they run today. I can only imagine I take Brady, and Rodgers' word for it, they're two of the best to ever play the game. I think they dumb it down because they expect kids to play so early in their career. Like when I went in my first year, and granted I was a 6th-round pick, there was no chance I was being anything better than a 3rd tight end. It's just not, because there is so much information that you have to learn. I think it could be defensively, they don't try to disguise as much. They probably don't play as many coverages. The technology is, light years ahead. We used to get a printout every week, which it was probably 20 pages thick of analytics, and I'm like, I don't have time to memorize. Even in my 4th and 5th year, I'm like, Are you kidding me? I said, give me the top 3 coverages that they're going to play, situationally, and we'll go from there. Today they play so much. I think they play so much more man, which is a lot easier than zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they probably dumb it down for quarterbacks. I don't know. I'd like to pick their brain on what they say. All I know is it took me probably 4 years to learn this offense where I knew it like the back of my hand. I don't think that's the case today. That's why when we do all 22, Gabe, I'm like, what are they doing here? It's so sloppy. That's the one thing, and it's just the way the game is today because to this, the players negotiate in the CBA. They don't want to practice as much. They don't want to have as many mini camps or be that involved where we had so many. You look at our pad. I think Tausch said in his day, which was after mine, 55 days or something, or 55 practices and pads. Mm-hmm. What'd they have this year? 15?
In pads?
In pads.
It would be, probably somewhere around that number. By the way, the name of the show is the All 22. Make sure you're looking that first.
I'll get it right.
No, you won't. We'll make sure, just be subscribed to the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page. We'll be back with more of that after the first green and gold game.
Look,
you can't have more than 16 padded practices
that's
in
insane.
training camp.
That's why when I look at, and people, whatever, call me old or whatever, we were so much more technically sound back in the day with 55 padded practices.
That just makes sense.
As opposed to 16.
A lot more time.
That's exponentially more practices in bed. But it makes sense that you would be more technically proficient since you practiced it, more.
Like I was watching some of the offensive line play where they slowed it down and stuff, and I'm like, dude, look at your feet. Your feet are absolutely horrible. To me, it's because the coaches don't have the time with these players. It's a little more of like, all right, just block that guy.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Just block him.
How?
Where back in the days, Andy would be like, that's two inches too far with your first step. And I could feel it just from reps. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's 2 inches too far.
How am I to square offenses like LaFleur, Shanahan, McVay's being so efficient but so much more simple? Like, if could they make it more complicated and they just choose not to because they like have kind of found like hacks to it? Or like what does that mean? I don't understand that, because like the best offenses are all those guys you named off, and if it's dumbed down, shouldn't it be dumbed down for the defense too? Like, you get where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I can only speak to the offense, Josh. I'm just like on route concepts and things like that. I even look at in Gabe, we do that on the show. Look down and I'm like, I think I know what they're trying to do. I'm not sure, but I think they are. Back in the day, it's like you knew exactly.
Route concepts are route concepts. Those haven't really changed in 40 years.
You still
And
got the same
coverages
routes.
haven't changed.
The route tree is still, there's 9 routes in the route tree. Like, what do you, what?
They added the little whip route to it.
Yeah.
Get a little fancy.
Oh, the little Wes Welker guy?
I think quarterbacks are much more athletic.
Okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more of outside the pocket.
Sure.
You know?
Which just changes everything.
Sure. I think, with the young kids like Caleb Williams are going, all right, we know you're not getting to your 4th read because it's your first year and you can't process all this. So look at 1, look at 2, then get out of the pocket. I mean, if you did a study between how many times, not even Brett, because Brett was probably one of the leaders in the league as far as getting out of the pocket, but look at Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
How many times you see him running outside the pocket? Everything back then was designed to be in the pocket, on timing, throw on time.
I don't know if I ever want to see Vinny Testaverde run.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I think
that's
it
why
could be
guys
painful.
like Roethlisberger and Manning, like towards the end of their career, I mean, both Mannings, when they'd get pressured, they'd just go down.
Yeah.
All of us were like, that looks pathetic because we were so used to Brett and Aaron. And I mean, even the guys who aren't runners.
But look at Brady. Look at Brady, the best to ever play the game. I mean, you get the hiccups when you see him run outside the pocket. But he knew in his head he had such an unbelievable
His shoulder,
clock.
I don't understand what he's doing. Like, his shoulders are just like going up and down the entire time he's running. I just can't get over it.
Everything was bing, 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 bing. Because Brady went 1, 2, 3, got to go to 4. Now they're like 1, 2, all right, I'm outside the pocket making something happen.
Yeah, I'm stuck with Joshy though. Like, I'm fascinated. I want somebody to do a deeper dive. And some places have done this with like the Play Caller series podcast that came out last year with The Athletic, and like, because it's not the first time we've heard somebody say, "Hey, this version of offense is a dumbed down version." But when it's also the best offense out there, the most efficient offense out there, and everybody wants to try to replicate it.
Well, everything.
Why?
Gabe, but the
why
rules,
is it so successful?
The rules are so skewed
to offense
in the favor of the offense.
So you can kind of get away with it.
People don't understand that. When I was running down the field in my day, you'd get drilled at 10 yards.
Oh, Merton Hanks was just waiting to drill you.
You just had to learn to, you were going to get pushed, but you had to get back on your track. Now you get pushed at 4 yards. Illegal contact on the defense. And it's not whining and it's not old guy football. I'm just explaining
that's just
away
different. That's
the
different.
difference.
Yeah.
You could chuck a guy at 5 yards.
Oh, that's what you guys did to Brent Jones in 95.
Yeah. Beat the snot out of him.
Also,
you can't do that anymore.
How can an offense like Mike McCarthy's, where it was clearly just go beat your man on everything?
Yeah.
Why is that more complicated? Because it feels...
Because they don't have the athletes. You don't have the ones. You don't have Jordy. You don't have Devontae.
It feels more simple.
Yeah.
It's like you run a route, you beat your guy, or the play, you got to make something happen, Aaron. Because, like, to me, that feels like less timing based. I guess timing, like,
you know what it is? And me and Brett had the same thing. It's like he would say one word and I'd automatically know what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hole was going to be. He'd be like, screw the play. Just go to that hole. Be like, yep, bing. All right, 8 yards on first down. Look at the difference. The late hit penalty on the receiver, I think it was in the first quarter.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Or a shot to that. Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me? That's a penalty.
They said the defender led with the crown of his helmet.
That's why I'm like, I struggle watching. I tell you this.
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't do this show, and it's 80 degrees in Florida on a Sunday at noon, you think I'm watching this stuff? I didn't grow up with it. That's why I'm like, it's so... And I talked to Frank. I'm like, how much football you watch? He's like, very little. It's such a different game than it was when I played. It's more exciting. Yes, there's more scoring. There's more flash plays. There's more everything. But from a just technical standpoint, and I guarantee Andy Reid would say the same thing. From a technical standpoint, it's just blah. And Andy would say, I just don't have the time to teach it. You don't have the time.
One of these years, you got to get us Andy on the show.
Son of a buck.
Now it's obviously not going to happen because it's in the middle of the season, but I'm saying in like a March or April, we got to get Andy on the show.
Yeah.
Jen and I will just lay out. We'll just open up and you go, hey, Andy, you just start asking Andy questions. We're just going to feed you the ball and you're going to score 40 points.
Yeah, but people want to hear the off-the-field stuff because that's great. Like when
I want to hear everything that you have with Andy.
When he ate Gilbert's late-night snack. That's Andy to a T. Josh, you know that story?
No.
All right. So room service shuts off at 8:30 on a Saturday night. Right?
Okay.
Because then we have bed check and all that. Well, it turns out Andy had bed check at 10 o'clock. So he's in the elevator, and the room service guy has 2 cheeseburgers, a vanilla shake, cheesecake, and an order of fries. And Andy's like, where are you going? Sir's like, let me check the room. It's room 738. A Mr. Brown. So Andy says, okay, give me that thing. Andy ate every piece of it. Made the guy deliver the empty tray to his room, and Gilbert had to still pay for it. But Gilbert didn't say a thing because he knew he was busted. The night before a game. After we just had snack.
I was going to say, that is so much food.
Yes.
It sounds like a belly.
I remember
you remember how big Gilbert was?
Yeah, I do.
Listen to this. Gary Brown. Gary Brown was a backup O-line for us probably in 95. This might be the Super Bowl year. And I was behind him at Taco Bell. And they just kept unloading bags. So I followed him. I was going PI on him. So I sat there, and this is 1995.
Okay.
I sat there in the car, watched him eat it. He went and threw the bag in the trash. I went through the bag to get the receipt because I had to know how much he spent. $48.
In the 90s?
In 1995?
In 1995. I'm like, dude, how can you eat so much food?
$48?
$48.
Holy smokes.
I was blown away.
How many things on a McDonald's menu back then cost more than $5?
It was Taco Bell.
Taco Bell,
So
sorry.
it was burritos, it was tacos, it was
Taco
Mexican
Bell,
pizza.
Taco Bell, especially in the 90s, like Taco Bell was even cheaper than Burger King, McDonald's, all of I
couldn't eat
$48 is getting you a franchise at Taco Bell in the 90s.
Yes.
I couldn't eat $48 Taco Bell today with prices very much more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
No.
It's not a lot of food.
No.
Great story. I was blown away. $48.
I love how you followed him
Yes.
and then went through the trash to see what the receipt was.
Yeah.
Unbelievable from the big guy. Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, of course, you know the only place we recommend is the Jewelry Center. It's the go-to place in Milwaukee for diamond engagement rings for a reason. That's what I did. Of course, that's what I did. I got my wedding band there, got the engagement ring there. And look, maybe you don't have an idea of what your special someone is looking for in a diamond engagement ring. Well, go to our Pinterest page. Bring those ideas into the Jewelry Center, and the helpful team that Dean has assembled is always going to point you in the right direction. And of course, they're going to have options, whether it's naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Check out their inventory at any one of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington, or shop online, shoptjc.com. Make sure you tell them Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Shop the best in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber, decking, and fencing. It's ideal for all your outdoor building projects and is easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, you can get free estimates fast with our deck and fence design programs in-store or online at Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Everybody knows, if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25 grand in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA Oak Creek help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA Oak Creek or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I just figured if I got the yellow ones from Mexico, I could slip those in without her. Did you know the Viagra in Mexico is yellow?
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Wait, can you just paint it? You just drop it in a little food coloring?
You probably could, like an egg.
I'm gonna try that. Easter has a new meaning in the Chimera household.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I do want to clarify something for Justin in Jacksonville. Wait, Chewy ate Taco Bell back in the day? Didn't have that on the bingo card. I mean, maybe you did, but in the story you just said you followed.
No, I enjoy a good Taco Bell taco.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to have cheat days.
No? Right. Well, no, that's fine. I just didn't know if you yourself indulged in Taco Bell because the story was you following somebody to Taco Bell and then taking a look at the receipts to see how much money they spent.
Yeah, you know what my bill was? $8. It was
Probably
a little
not even
smaller
that.
bag.
Yeah, probably not even then.
Yeah.
Did you see that Taco Bell is bringing back some of their old items, like a nostalgia menu? Like the Mexi Melt, they're going like 60s through the 2000s. So like the caramel apple empanada, some of the old classic Taco Bell items are going to be making a return.
I don't think I've ever had anything from Taco Bell other than tacos.
Never had a quesadilla.
Nope.
Never had the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Nope.
You're
Taco
not
Bell,
living, brother.
not Taco Bell, but tacos probably in my top 5.
Yeah, like any sort of like burrito bowl. Like I feel usually in our house, like there's going to be some sort of something of that nature on the menu. Just about every
nice hard shell.
Well, so I will say this because again, the story you just told, and you looked at the receipt of your former teammate, and he spent $48 at Taco Bell.
Yeah. In 1995 or 96.
During the break, there was an ad for the Lux Craving Box for Taco Bell, which is a seasoned beef chalupa supreme, a beefy 5-layer burrito, double-stacked taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. That is $7. All of that is $7 today.
Is that
like, you would have to order 6 of those things, and then with the tax, to get in the ballpark of what your guy was eating. 6 beefy 5-layer burritos? That's a lot of beefy 5-layer burritos.
But Gabe, I just saw Gary Brown was listed at 6'4", 320. He wasn't 320. He's at least 340, maybe 350.
What about Gilbert? Because Gilbert was listed, I think Gilbert was listed at like 330.
340 is what I got here from...
From what, Pro Football Reference?
340, you said? You said 340?
Wikipedia, so it seems to be whatever was, which I imagine was pulled off of a roster.
Yeah, roster, or Pro Football Reference, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that about right? Right in the
340?
ballpark? Yeah.
I don't know, because we had to weigh in every Friday.
Okay.
You know? And everyone, I'd never missed a weight.
I was just about to ask that question.
Yeah.
Did you ever miss weight?
No, I never missed a weight.
I mean, there's stories of guys now where they like lose significant weight during the season.
Oh, I've seen guys weigh in a training camp practice back in the day. I've seen guys lose 16 pounds.
Well, so that was going to be my follow-up. Was it like a range you had to hit? Because I'm assuming, like, obviously you don't want to be overweight, but also, like, if for somebody your size, like, they didn't want you to get too small. As much blocking as you had to do on the line, was there like a weight range you had to hit?
Yes, there was a weigh in and a weigh out.
Okay.
So before practice, you had to weigh in. At the end, you had to weigh out. And they monitored. But when you're 340 pounds, 16 pounds really making a difference?
I was thinking more of somebody like you. Like you don't want to get like, what did you play at? 250, 245?
257.
257.
That was my weight.
Like my guess is they don't want you to drop down to 245.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's all water. You go and drink and you put it right back on.
Okay.
So if I lose 7 pounds by the next practice, you put back 5. It's just like wringing your body and wringing all the water out of it and then just putting it right back in.
There were rumors of, I believe it was Aaron Jones, like that towards the end of the season, he was typically, if he played the entire season, he was like 20 pounds lighter than he would be at the beginning of the season. And for a guy that small who only weighs 207, that's
crazy.
A significant amount of weight to be down in comparison.
No, it's pretty steady because once it starts getting cold, then you start putting on that winter fat. Yeah.
A couple extra tacos at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Relive the greatest Bucs postseason run in Milwaukee Bucks history with the Bucks in 6 podcast. Bucks in 6 presents a special series commemorating the Bucks title run from 2021. From the thrilling 7-game series against the Nets to the 50-piece from Giannis in the finals, immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. Tom Brady had some good things to say about the Packers. We hear that in 2 minutes. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have an accident on northbound 894 right about at Lincoln Avenue off on the right shoulder. It's enough to cause some delays. Now starting to slow down just north of Beloit Road. Westbound 94, a little tight through the Stadium interchange. Eastbound slowing down from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound 894 heavy out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th. And northbound 43, watch for delays from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 71. Tonight, mostly clear, cool, a low of 56 at the lake, 48 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Bliss is more.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee 94.5 WKTI HD.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He reads, so it really doesn't matter.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? I'm all set. Did you take that book with you into the bathroom? What do you want to hear?
Reading is so like 1970. Who flipping reads anymore?
They made me buy it. $100 this thing cost me. I got news for you. If it wasn't for the toilet, there would be no books. They're selling coffee, bran muffins. You're surrounded by reading material. It's entrapment.
Watch your book instead of read it.
Watch my book.
It cuts out one whole process. When you read, you have to filter it through your brain and make a picture.
Yeah.
Instead of the picture just being there for you.
Yeah, I need to return this book.
I'm sorry, we can't take this book back.
Why not?
It's been flagged.
Flagged?
It's been in the bathroom.
It says that on the computer?
Please stick it home. We don't want it near the other books.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it. She's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever. She's too excited. Her man
Jen out for the rest of the week. Gonna have to catch her Saturday morning College Game Day live from Ireland. So that leaves me and Chewy here for the final week of Packers. I mean, this is it for training camp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have your final practice on Thursday against the Ravens, game on Saturday against the Ravens, and then they begin preparations for the regular season the following week. Getting closer and closer. 2 weeks from Friday, Packers going to be playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. We have been asking questions. And again, it's all based on what Matt LaFleur had to say after the game. But that doesn't mean that everybody out there is asking those same questions. In fact, some people are singing the Packers' praises, looking forward to seeing what they can do in the regular season, because Tom Brady, who was on the Stephen A. Smith pod, had this to say about the green and gold.
The number one threat to the Chiefs in the entire NFL.
I think it's probably still the 49ers and the Packers, I think, are going to be a great team. And you know what? I think the Rams are going to be a good team this year, too.
I mean, rattled off a number of different teams there quickly.
Why the Rams?
I think he just has a lot of respect for Stafford and a lot of respect for McVay.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he's talking about there. I fully expect the Rams to not be... probably be what they were last year. I think losing somebody like Aaron Donald is tough. Although, again, there are some on this esteemed panel that seem to think that maybe Aaron Donald shows up because he didn't want to go through training camp. But I haven't seen those rumors elsewhere. But what do you think about that? Can the Packers be a legitimate threat to the Kansas City Chiefs? Skipped over the Lions, skipped over the Ravens,
Eagles,
yep.
49ers, Packers, and then he threw in the Rams at the end.
You know what, right now, at this point in time, nobody knows. No one has any clue. You don't know how it's going to play out with injuries. You just don't know. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people think the Bears are going to be much improved. Who knows? Nobody knows. There's going to be, I do know this, there'll be a couple sleeper teams.
Always are.
That come out of the woodwork, you know? Yeah, they will be one of the top teams. I mean, we have power rankings coming up next segment. Do I expect them to be in the top 10? Yeah. I haven't looked. I haven't looked.
You're allowed to look. You're saying, like,
I know.
You're the one who's administering the list. You're allowed to look. Joshy and I shouldn't be the ones looking.
But if I was to guess, they probably 8, 9, 10. Right?
Yeah.
That feels about right. Nobody knows. No, I mean, just look back to last year. You know, we thought they were going to win 6 games. It's all about getting hot at the right time. Now, I am a little bit concerned about the progression of camp because I said, I don't think it's been the greatest camp. And if they're going to use the start of the regular season as their real training camp, you can't fall that far behind, especially with a tough schedule, especially with that 7 or 8 game stretch that we talked about in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have 2 losses right away.
Yeah, look, I think when you're talking about the schedule, it's obviously the first game's a tough opener. I think the Eagles are going to be good. But then Indianapolis, Tennessee, Minnesota.
Colts can beat you.
Oh, yeah, it's a home game, though.
Titans ain't going to beat you. Vikings ain't going to beat you.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about the Rams going out to L.A.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to be easy.
Look, again, I was just breaking down the first quarter of the season. The first game is the toughest one of those 4.
You okay with 3-2?
Better start than last year.
You're not okay with 2-3.
No. 3-2 would be 2-3. You're asking a lot of tough questions. 3-2 is okay. You'd probably like it to be a little bit better, but 3-2's you're not falling behind at 3-2.
I would be more concerned if the Indy game was in Indy. The fact that it's at home and it's a home opener. It's a game they should win.
Yeah, you feel good about it.
I mean, 3-2, I'm fine.
Yeah, 3-2.
Based upon last year, but it's hard to
2-3.
Can you use last year as a barometer?
In terms of building off of it for success, I mean, they got hot at the end of the year, certainly.
They got hot, but no one was still giving them their due week 14.
Well, that's because, I mean, even it was just so hard to get a read on them, Chew, because as we were going through it, yes, they had those great wins against the Lions and against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah.
Laid an egg against the Giants and Tommy DeVito.
Sure.
Almost let the pathetic Carolina Panthers almost come back and beat you.
Yes.
Right? So there were still some low moments where you're like, okay, who the hell is this team? Would the real team step up? Which is why, I mean, I would prefer to be just a good team versus a team that gets in at the end and gets hot.
But there's a different mindset. That's why I don't really take last year into account too much, because you think the Chiefs are really going, shh, we got to watch out for them. They got a chance to go to the NFC Championship here. No. Now they kind of have a target on their back.
Sure.
Now they have the highest paid player at quarterback in NFL history. It's just a different mindset. You know, it's like back in the day when we won Super Bowl 31. Dude, everyone wanted to beat us.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. It's just a different feeling than when you, as opposed to sneaking up on teams like, hey, they don't know we're good. We're good. How do they handle that? This year is a totally different beast.
And I think it's going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be
great.
great.
I mentioned it yesterday, like the stacking successes thing from McCarthy, I just think is so true. And I'll tell you what, I'm probably more invested maybe than I should be in the practice on Thursday. I want to see how they respond. Because you can have, throughout the course of a 17-week season, or 17-game season, and this happened to you guys too. You guys were one of the best teams in NFL history. You guys had clunkers. You guys had bad games.
Yeah.
Like, bad weeks happen. They just do. And maybe last week was a bad week. But it got it got my attention. Like, okay, maybe this isn't going as smooth as I'd like it to. But maybe it was just a bad week traveling out to Denver. And if they bounce back against the Ravens and you get good reports out of that joint practice on Thursday, you're going to feel really good and ready for the regular season.
Yeah,
right?
Like I said, Thursday push is good. If they walk away going, you know what, they both won. Then that's fine.
We got what we wanted to get done.
Yes.
Won some, lost some, we're ready to go. We feel good. But I feel super invested in this because if we get more reports like we got out of Denver, it's going to be a long 2 weeks before they play the Philadelphia
Well,
Eagles.
there's going to be a ton of question marks.
Yeah.
Because I still don't know what the hell's going on at the receiver position, which is fine. Maybe they just want to keep that on the down low. I don't have I can't sit there and rank them. I kind of think I know what they're going to do. You know?
What do you think?
The Dobbs will be, it'll be Dobbs, Watson. Reed will be 3. Musgrave, obviously, and Josh Jacobs. But it's a little concerning that Dobb goes up against Surtain because every team has a dominant corner, right? And does nothing. After the glowing reports.
Yeah.
Sounded a little all Oneida to me, having an unbelievable camp. Well, where were you on Thursday? Right?
That's physical limitations.
Yeah.
Which is why there's a ceiling to him.
Like everything's been quiet. Watson, quiet, right? Yep. Dobbs, not so much. Quay Walker, quiet.
Very quiet.
Haven't heard anything. Jair, which is weird.
We've heard
Early
him
on.
We
ran
heard him
his mouth
talk
a little bit.
Yeah, but we haven't even heard much from him over the last few weeks.
Was Denver triple teaming Dobbs on
during practice?
Yeah, during the scrimmage.
You know, I mean,
it reminds me that a lot of teams go triple team him.
Well, if he was getting triple teamed, I think that says a lot about everybody else.
Okay,
nobody else could get open.
Yeah, you just got to kind of sift through the BS.
Yeah,
find your way through the BS. But there's,
But I would like to hear, not all the way, because we heard the comments yesterday from Diana Rossini about how like Bo Nix looked. But I would just like somebody, one of the beat reporters, Huber, Wilde, Domofsky. I'd like to see somebody just glowing about, oh man, this guy really stood out in this joint practice for the Packers.
You mean you're talking Thursday?
Yes, on Thursday. Yes.
Sure.
I just want to hear one of those guys on Thursday be like, hey, this guy stood out.
Like Musgrave's gush based on last year is about 10%.
There have been a couple of times where it's like, he's been having a quiet but pretty solid camp.
Yeah.
Like that's
what does
kind of
that
the
mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? I have no idea what it means.
Well, because again, 16 practices versus the 55 that you and Tausch had to go through. Probably more for you. How many practices do you think you had in Pats?
Did we?
Yeah, training camp. Typical training camp. Five, but throwing out the 4 or 5 preseason
55
games.
seems high.
Okay.
But definitely into the 30s, maybe 40s. Because the first 3 days we went double, so there's 6. Training camp. And don't forget, we played 5 preseason games.
Yeah, 4 or 5 preseason games, yep.
Yeah, I bet we're into the 40s.
Quickly, before we get to power rankings. Marty Schottenheimer was a psychopath. I saw a highlight last week, and I think I shared it in our group text, but I saw a highlight of when you guys played the American Bowl over in Tokyo. You versus Kansas City. It is in overtime. Preseason overtime. Most, like in today's NFL, everyone's like, please, let's just end this.
Yes.
Is there even overtime? I thought they just stopped
I
playing.
think they just stopped playing now. I
Yeah.
think you might be right. But this is preseason overtime, and Schottenheimer is calling timeouts to try to ice Ryan Longwell. Trying to ice the
Did we
kicker
win
in
that
preseason.
game?
Yeah, Longwell kicked the game-winning field goal in
did.
overtime. Yes.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
All I remember
Because
is
you were
Brett
probably
and Frank,
so ticked off.
Brett and Frank crashing in the elevator right before the game.
Excuse me?
I told you that story.
I don't think I've heard this one.
No?
I heard, no, but now you got to share it.
Should we tell it before power rankings?
All right, we'll tell it before power rankings. So Chewy has a Brett Frank story from Tokyo in 1998, plus power rankings coming up next. Tune in to Thanalysis Show each and every week. It's presented by Gruber Law Offices. Thanasis Antetokounmpo hangs out with special guests for fun and even surprising conversations. Maybe it's his live show with Giannis, a chat with Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love, getting the inside scoop on fighting with Logan Paul, or any other one of TA's unique guests. Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, you can subscribe to Thanalysis Show on YouTube to see exclusive video content from Thanasis. Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays along southbound 43 stretching from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol. The northbound side's a bit heavier. We're seeing delays from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Northbound 4394 slowing out of the Mitchell around the Plainfield curve up to the KK River. And eastbound 94, some heavy traffic from Highway 83 all the way to Highway 16. And then back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny with a high of 71. Tonight, mostly clear, cool with a low of 56 at the lake, 48 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Maybe you're in a situation where you're wondering, how are we going to get to that big event? I know I've been there traveling for college football season. Accutrans is my go-to option. They're a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. This is how I get from Chicago's O'Hare Airport back to Milwaukee when my transportation and travel arrangements are not ideal, and they are fantastic. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. You just visit their website, accutransgroup.com, to get a quote or book a reservation today. That's accutransgroup.com for reliable and safe transportation like I use during the college football season.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thesaurus
What's a click below dumb?
You. No.
That's fine.
Whoa.
No, that's what I was getting
Good
at.
pop. Good pop.
I know.
Unnecessary.
I'm not dumb. I'm one click below dumb. We need to find out what that word is.
Don't you want to be one click above dumb?
Oh, that's right. I'm one click above.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Sometimes the things our fans just jump onto are fascinating to me.
What they jump?
Chef Ed, I Googled it. Taco Bell prices in 1995. A taco is 49 cents. Big beefy taco is 79 cents. Prices range from 49 cents all the way up to $1.50. So you'd have to buy a lot of tacos for $48.
Yeah. 15, 20.
I mean, for $48? If a regular taco
that
is
might have been a
49
little
cents.
north, but does he know how big 350 pounds is?
Still a lot of tacos.
How many calories do you have to eat in order to maintain 350 pounds?
Especially with their level of exertion.
Yeah, you tell me.
A lot. The bag was empty.
I mean, you see guys like Michael Phelps famously had the most insane diet because he was working out so hard, and that was just to maintain like his 200-pound body.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you gotta take in a lot of calories. So
your story about Brett and Frank in an elevator in Tokyo.
all right, so we're staying in obviously playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was weird because it was a beautiful, brand new hotel, and you're in Tokyo, so the technology there, even in '98, was pretty darn good. The only thing I remember about it is there's a lip, and I don't know why there was a lip to go into the bathroom. So when you went to take a leak at night, that's all the guys were talking about, stubbing their toes on that lip.
Oh, so there's a little step up.
That and the bidet. Frank was acting like a little kid, and Brett would stand there, brush his teeth, and Frank would hit the bidet, and it would spray Brett, a little childish thing. So they're going down. I room with Jeff Thomason, so I'm already down, taking the first bus, and I'm already out there, and Frank and Brett come out, and they said they crashed. The elevator crashed. It dropped from like the third floor down to the bottom floor. And there, it wasn't horrible because there's springs on the bottom, but the gap to get out was probably about 4 feet to lift the people out of
the
elevator up onto the lobby level. So there were some women in the elevator.
Yep. Executives who were women.
And Frank was obviously lifting him up. So Holmgren's right-hand man, who was a little bit of a nut job, was pissed at Frank because he said Frank was trying to look up the women's skirts. And Frank's like, dude, I'm helping the women out. So that's what I remember. It turned into a little scrum. And that coupled with they tried to get out of playing in the game because they're like, oh, my arm. And Holmgren's like, no, you're playing one series and you're done. So, yeah.
The American Bowl. What a game. What a game in 1998. Let's get to some power rankings.
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Alrighty, I peeked at the list.
I would hope so.
I peeked at the list.
I'm assuming the Packers are in the top 10.
I peeked at the list. It wouldn't be my list, but
Rarely
I can
is.
understand the list.
Okay.
I can understand the list. So with that, give me number 10.
Well, since you didn't ask us, Packers are in it. I'm putting the Packers 10.
I'm saying Miami Dolphins 10.
The Green Bay Packers are 10. Joshy is on the board, and it's kind of strange. Can you guess who's on the hot seat?
For the Packers?
Yes.
Because that's like the theme of this week's Power Rankings. Who is on the hot seat for the Packers? I will say it is Anders Carlson.
Josh?
Gabe's going Anders. I'll go Greg Joseph.
Gabe is correct. Anders Carlson. Anders Carlson, although I think if Cuts were to be today, I think he's making the team.
Yeah, I think they're looking for another kicker.
Wow. All right, 9.
I'll stick with Miami.
I'll piggyback Gabe's guess.
Cincinnati Bengals are 9.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, doesn't that all depend on
Yeah, look,
the receiver situation?
They've got a lot going on there. They've got a hold-in with their top wide receiver in Jamar
Who
Chase.
has 2 years left on his contract.
T. Higgins has decided he's going to play out on the franchise tag, but also who knows if Joe Burrow is going to be healthy.
But they're not as good without Who's the first one you said?
Jamar.
Oh,
They're,
yeah.
They're not as good.
And by the way, Joe Mixon is no longer there either.
Yeah, I know.
He's now
I don't know if I like that.
He is now in Houston.
I mean, I think Burrow's good, but he loses a weapon. He's not as good. All right, 8.
I'm giving Dolphins one more shot before I ditch them.
I'm moving on. Buffalo.
Josh, he's up 2-0.
Damn it!
Miami Dolphins.
You got to stick to it, Gabe.
Number 8.
Wasn't stubborn enough.
And I know we might get to it, but what Tua said about Flores is shocking, but I totally get it.
Okay.
Totally get it. We'll talk about that in a bit. All right. 7.
I like Texans here.
Man, okay, so I will say Cleveland.
A-O
damn it.
Buffalo. I do not
Just
like Buffalo.
one off.
I don't like
You've
Buffalo.
never liked Buffalo.
I don't like Buffalo.
Yeah, we know.
You don't like Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen.
No, you
I
don't.
don't love Josh
That's a lie.
Allen.
Yeah.
And they don't have a
Josh
number.
Allen hater.
They
You
don't-
feel about
they
Josh
don't
Allen the way
have
I
a
feel
one.
about Kirk Cousins.
Quit fibbing to all the fans out there.
Well, then you tell me why they're 7.
Because of Josh Allen. He's going to win the league MVP.
Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
You're wrong.
I want Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's going to win league MVP this year.
You know who's staying on the field? Josh Allen.
Yeah, but by the
Talking
end of the
about
season, he's too banged up because he plays stupid.
But at least he's out there
No.
instead of Jake
Bad
Browning.
guess. Aaron Rodgers will finish higher in the MVP voting than Josh Allen. Take it to the bank.
If the Bills win the division, because of everything that they've lost, he will win the MVP.
Then I will give him credit. But it ain't happening. They're the third best team. They're the third best team in the AFC.
They
East.
are the third best team in the AFC. I agree.
Number 6.
I'm sticking with Texans.
Yeah, I'll go Texans here.
All right, you're both right. All right, let me ask you this. Similar seasons last year. Why is Houston getting so much love and the Packers aren't getting quite as much?
Because they won their division.
The South just
Their division's a joke.
Yeah. But, I mean, winning your division is the easiest way to get to the postseason and getting a home playoff game. The Packers are not the only NFC North team, I'm assuming, on this list.
I also just think they have a sunnier outlook, generally. Like, more so than just the division. For whatever reason, people like the Texans more than the Packers.
Well, they added Joe Mixon. They added Stephon Diggs, which I think is going to be a mistake ultimately.
I think Joe Mixon is going to be a mistake, too.
A
A lot of wear on those tracks.
I think Stroud takes a little step back. I mean, he won't be horrible, but I don't think he'd be as good
he lit
as
the
last
world
year.
on fire.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's 23 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah.
He's got some place to go back and still be really good.
If you told me over under 5 interceptions for Stroud, I'm taking the over this year, and he's still going to be really good.
Yeah.
5.
Philly.
I'm going with Gabe.
Philly is correct. You want to guess who's on the hot seat?
Sirianni.
Yeah.
Which is it's Philadelphia. I get it. You won the Super Bowl, what, 2 years ago?
They went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, yes.
And lost it.
Oh, they lost. We still don't get any street cred for that?
Well, because they were a dysfunctional mess
Well,
last
they were
year.
dysfunctional because their offensive and defensive coordinators last year were terrible.
Well, yeah, because they left. Sirianni hired bad ones, tried to enforce more
So it's
authority
on
on
him.
the offense. Yes, which is why the hot seat's on Nick Sirianni.
So if LaFleur goes to the Super Bowl this year and loses and makes the playoffs the next year, he's on the hot seat?
No, the reason, again, because...
the reason he's on the hot seat is Philly.
No, the reason's because he was dysfunctional and not a good leader last year. There's a huge article on ESPN.com about it a couple of weeks ago where he was just like overstepping bounds.
No, I get it.
And there to the point where he was overcalling like third down plays, and the players had no idea who was calling plays, their offensive coordinator or Sirianni.
And Jalen said he didn't trust him. In plain terms.
Yep.
All right. Fair enough.
Which they're going to pick Jalen over
Yes.
Sirianni.
4.
I'll say Detroit.
I'm Detroit as well.
You guys cheating here? I think you are.
I mean,
no. Once you get to the,
let's put it under protest. Put it on the poll.
We're cheating together.
Are Gabe and Joshy cheating? Because I think you are.
Once you kind of the
It's
bottom
fine,
of the
it's
list
fine.
sorts itself out,
It's
the
fine.
top of the list is kind of easier.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, who were the final 4 teams?
3.
So, I would say Baltimore. I'm wondering if San Francisco is getting punished.
I'm with you.
With Trent
You are
Williams,
the
and
biggest.
IU.
I don't even want to play anymore.
So
San Fran
Francisco,
3,
yeah.
Baltimore 2, Kansas City 1. You guys are the biggest cheaters on the face of the planet. Put it on the poll. We're going to beat the pizza salad poll numbers.
It's just, I mean, it's easy.
It's not easy. There's no way you had the Ravens at 2.
Yeah, I can.
but the Ravens were the best team.
Look at right. It's right
there
here.
on the
Yeah,
list.
KC, Baltimore, SF, Detroit. Like the
Yeah, when
everything
was that?
else.
When did you write that down? At 6:48, you wrote that down.
If I wrote it down at 6:48, that'd be great. I wrote it down in between the segments. After we finished the last break, I'm like, I gotta get my power rankings. It's right here.
I guarantee you lose.
It's right here. KC, Baltimore, SF, Detroit. The other ones have a bunch of crosses off because, like,
we were
it's kind of a
taking
mystery.
stabs in the dark.
Yeah.
You heard us.
You are
I
such
threw Cleveland
cheaters.
out there.
Wow.
Well, yeah, we can guess the top 4 teams in the NFL. Shocking.
So we've been doing power rankings consistently, even though
I'm
there
not
was
listening.
nothing happening.
All right, here's some. The Jets are 15, which I think is wrong.
No, they got to prove it, man.
They're wrong.
They gotta
Dallas
prove it.
11. Put it this way, I feel better about the Jets than I do Dallas.
I mean, both of them have unnecessary drama.
I don't know if I'd feel good.
You want to guess where the Bears are at?
18.
Let's say 17.
17. Well, when you look, of course, you're going to throw that out there. Absolutely. Minnesota 23. So there's your division.
Seems high after the J.J. McCarthy injury.
Was he going to start anyways, though?
I mean, eventually.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because here's the thing
We've
about
seen
Sam Darnold. He stinks.
Yeah.
He's not very good. He's been in a lot of stops. Even Kyle Shanahan went, nah, I don't want you to be my backup. You can move on.
This was going to be the third time in his career where people tried to convince he was pretty good, and then he stopped and ended up playing. Like, he's just not that good.
No, I agree.
It's the old Tausch saying, right? When you're a first round, if you're a 7th round pick, you got to constantly prove you belong in the league. If you're a first round pick, you got to prove you don't belong.
Right.
And I don't know how many more times he's got to prove it.
He's running out, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I guess it's after week 1, maybe. Maybe if Minnesota will be like, oh, Nick Mullins, come on down. I tried a new Palermo's pizza this past weekend. It is under the Screamin' Sicilian brand, and they've got so many different Screamin' Sicilian brands. It's unbelievable. But they have a new Detroit-style pizza, which is more of that pan style. It's a rectangle. It was really good. If you like that thicker crust, if you like that Detroit-style pizza, you need to try it. You need to find it at your local grocer in their frozen food aisle. But maybe that's not your style. Don't worry, Palermo's, plenty of other brands to choose from. Whether we're talking about Palermo's, Urban Pie, Connie's, Surfer Boy Pizza, or Screamin' Sicilian, they are going to have a slice that fits your appetite because, look, they've been doing it for 60 years here in Wisconsin. They know premium frozen pizza. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Things are still slow along southbound 43 from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for delays from about 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound still has some backups from just east of Highway 83, pretty much starting from Maple Avenue all the way to Highway 16. So watch out for that. We've also got more delays then from about 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 71. Tonight, mostly clear and cool, a low of 56 at the lake, 48 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You paid too much for that nice ride. Why put it through a gas station car wash when you can treat it to Tsunami Express instead? At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you can expect nothing but the best with unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. With their 5th location opening at 5209 West Fond du Lac Avenue in Milwaukee, make sure to stop by and get a free car wash from August 21st through September 1st. That's a $22 value for free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at TsunamiExpress.com.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your job demands more than just hard work, trust Timberland Pro, the brand that defines superior comfort, performance, and durability. Built on a legacy of craftsmanship, Timberland Pro provides boots and apparel that stand up to the toughest challenges. Our products are as resilient as the skilled men and women who wear them. From the workshop to the job site, Timberland Pro is there with you every step of the way, blending innovation with time-tested quality. Discover why professionals choose Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Visit timberlandpro.com or your local Timberland Pro dealer.
Are you ready to be treated like a VIP? Drop the third-party apps and download the Cousin Subs app for true VIP status. Then order your favorite subs and sides directly on the Cousin Subs app to reap the rewards. You'll get access to exclusive, limited-time-only products, coupons, and special offers, and you'll earn reward points, free food, and Cousins merchandise. Now that's how a VIP should be treated. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Josh said it's garbage.
I'm so glad that Josh is getting a front row seat.
He said it doesn't work.
Chewy,
am I right or wrong?
We call that a setup in the biz.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This certainly caught Chewy's attention. It's been talked about all over the place. But yesterday on the Dan Le Batard show, Tua Tagovailoa went on. And he famously had his issues, as did a lot of members of the Miami Dolphins, with Brian Flores. But it brings to your attention the difference, I think, of situations for different quarterbacks. And really any player. But I want everybody to hear this from yesterday's Dan Le Batard show, Tua comparing Brian Flores and Mike McDaniel.
To put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate, you are the best whatever, you are this, you are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad. And you hear it more and more, you start to actually believe that. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States. You have a terrible person that's telling you things that you don't want to hear, or that you probably shouldn't be hearing, you're going to start to believe that about yourself.
What is that? What do you think when you hear that, Chip?
A little shocking. My guess is Flores probably had that done to him in his career, and it's learned behavior, and he's just
it works
passing.
for him. Well, some people respond to a kick in the butt. Some people respond to a pat in the back. But your job as the head coach is to know what does your quarterback respond to and coach accordingly.
I don't think you can continually kick in the butt, kick in the butt,
Sure.
kick in the butt. That never works. And this is what I found out through all my years of playing in the NFL. If a coach screams and yells and cusses and that's all he doesn't know how to coach, and he's probably not a good coach, right? I had great Andy Reid, Mike Sherman, never yelled. Andy Reid would do it in a way, if you weren't giving him what he wanted, of making you feel how disappointed he is in you. He'd never yell. Now, game day's different because there's so much emotion. Players yell, coaches yell, everyone yells. That's different. But when you're in the work week, I think it's just a bad way to go about coaching. You know, you can still be critical of a person without being negative all the time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that. But it just kind of makes me think of the success that Tua had. Like, without Mike McDaniel, Tua's not getting the contract that he just got.
No.
And it just made me think, when I hear things like this, it makes me think how, especially in the NFL, I think it's a lot harder. Like in baseball, in basketball, I think, look, in any sport, the cream's going to rise to the top eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I heard this and I thought about Brett. Because when Brett was drafted into this league and his coach was Jerry Glanville.
Well, he's an idiot.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, if Ron didn't believe in Brett the way he did, I don't know if Brett's ever a Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it.
No.
Because Ron believed in Brett and traded a first-round pick for a previous year's second-round pick, which I can't imagine if GM did that today. And Ron ended up being right. But Brett was just a side act. You know, he was drinking
in Atlanta. Yeah,
he was drinking himself out of the league because Jerry Glanville would be like, "Hey, Brett, throw this ball up to the third deck."
Yeah,
you know, on game day, and that's about all the attention you would get from Jerry Glanville.
Yeah,
like so landing in the right spot is just so important. Getting that right coach is just so important.
Yeah, but Flores, to me, because he is a former player, probably is passing that along. Now, I never experienced that really in the pro level too much, but there were coaches I've had throughout my career. I took salt pills when I played, so you're going to take salt pills and not drink any water. That's real smart, really good coaching.
Let's get dehydrated.
Yeah. But there's a way to do it and be critical of players while not just, you know, and there is a dance because I played with guys that couldn't take criticism at all. But I knew my role with Holmgren. It's like, hey, he needs to yell at someone, and I can take it. Yell at me. That's fine. You know?
You were the designated yell guy.
Which is fine. I think every team needs one. You know? But I knew where Mike was coming from. You know? But it's unfortunate, I guess. I just can't. I wonder if it was as bad as he said.
Well, obviously, he perceived it to be that bad.
Well, maybe he's soft. You know?
I mean, he was coached by Nick Saban, who is not necessarily the warm and fuzziest of fellas.
Yeah, he's not a big teddy bear. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, you know the thing about Nick Saban that nobody knows. Yeah, he's just such a great guy. He's just so soft. He's got a gentle touch.
Did anyone agree with Tua that played? Because I know he mentioned other players who were treated kind of the same way. Because if no one comes to his defense and says, yeah, it was like that, then I'm leaving and be like, maybe he is.
I mean, yesterday is typically like an off day for a lot of teams, so nobody necessarily did. Maybe that comes out today. But I will say this. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say anything positive about Brian Flores in his time in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no players have come to his defense necessarily, but also like no one's going, oh yeah, Brian Flores, he was the greatest.
Kevin O'Connell did come to Brian Flores' defense yesterday.
Well,
and saying that he thinks he's a good communicator, which, I mean, maybe he learned from his previous mistakes. I do think there is a level, not to defend Brian Flores, which I have zero interest in doing, that the organization was trying to replace Tua throughout his tenure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think he kind of was the well was poisoned per se on Tua because the GM and the guys at the highest rungs were saying, like, this guy isn't good enough. We need to get better. We need to explore other options.
Well, in fairness, one of those guys was Tom Brady.
Yes.
So Yeah,
the other
chance
was
of
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well, and Deshaun, I think, is more indefensible.
Yeah.
Because he was coming off of, he was going to have to be suspended. You're going to have to guarantee an entire contract, do all those different things. Whereas when Tom Brady was a free agent, he's Tom Brady. I understand. If you're Tua, you have to go, yeah, I get it.
I get it. Yeah, sure.
Sure, I get it. Tom Brady, I get it. The other stuff, sure. But then when you couple it with the Deshaun Watson consistently being told you're not good enough to be playing in the league.
I'm just, you
also, it puts into context. Remember when McDaniel and Tyreek were calling him like the most accurate passer ever?
Yeah.
And how he's perfect? It makes sense. There's definitely an organizational shift.
Hey, we got to lift this guy up.
We need to, build back his confidence here.
And I'm still not sold on him.
I think he stinks.
You think Tua stinks?
Yeah.
He doesn't stink.
I think he is as middling as possible.
Yeah, is he a starting NFL quarterback?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold
Is
stinks.
he an MVP quarterback? No.
No.
Well, to me, unless you're fighting for elite, you stink because you don't matter. You're not going to win. He's never going to win.
That's a hell of a bar.
He'll never play in a Super Bowl. What does it matter?
They got to have a really good defense.
Yeah, well, they got worse.
Wait,
there.
so does Brock Purdy not stink? I mean, he's a middling, but he played in the Super Bowl.
Would you pay Brock Purdy $58 million a year?
Well, he's about to get paid $65 million a year.
Also, did you see Kyle Shanahan kind of send him out to the dogs with none of his starters and none of the old line playing? That felt like a message. Why else is your
For
franchise,
what's to come?
Yeah, why else is your franchise quarterback out there just getting tossed around? Like, what's the point there?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because how
him and John Lynch just trying to say, hey, I know your contract's coming up next year, buddy, but
how else do you make sense of it? It's impossible. That's your franchise quarterback. Why is he out there by himself?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. Take the deal or...
Wait, so how many quarterbacks don't stink?
Probably
10.
I'd
all right, I want to play just a very quick game. Josh Allen. This is stink or no stink?
Stinks. No, he's fine.
Stink.
No stink. So we did to Aaron Rodgers.
No, he doesn't stink.
Yeah, stink is too much for me there.
Okay.
Even as the hater.
Trevor Lawrence.
Stinks.
No, he's a good player.
Justin Herbert.
Doesn't stink.
Good.
Dak.
Who? He's good.
Doesn't stink.
Hurts.
Who?
Doesn't stink.
Hurt. He's good.
Jared Goff.
Stinks.
He's good. Wow, your bar is really high. How about Bo Nix after last week? He's wonderful. He's great.
Kirk Cousins.
Stinks.
All right.
He's good.
Baker.
Stinks.
Okay.
You keep him around.
Those guys are all like the QB purgatory to me is a vast and wide.
Oh,
Where's the line? Where's the line between?
I'm surprised you
it
said. It
shouldn't even be stink. It should be can play, can't play.
But that's basically what Josh is. Yeah. That's almost what Josh is doing. But like to put Goff in that category because
how about Trevor Lawrence?
You threw the category of won't ever play in a Super Bowl. Like the Lions could be in the Super Bowl this year.
Yes,
he could get lucky.
That's what I'm saying. So wouldn't that put him in the not stink category?
Nah.
No, there's the caveat. It has to do it with the defense.
Jared Goff has stunk as much as he's been good in his NFL career.
Sure.
Like that. That's we seem to have completely erased that period when like you can get better certainly, and he has gotten better, but it's not like he's a world beater. You get him off his spot, he's a pretty average quarterback. We've seen him do it multiple times.
What about Deshaun?
Stinks.
Yeah, stinks.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Deshaun stinks.
He didn't stink.
No, he
5
used
years
to,
ago.
He used to not stink. Now, Chewy, he hasn't done anything in 5 years. He stinks.
Well, let's hope he hasn't done anything in 2 years.
Damn it. Of course, the last read I have left. It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Use Mentality just like I did. I've got an appointment tomorrow, going in, checking up, making sure all my testosterone levels are where they need to be. If anything needs to be adjusted in my testosterone treatment plan, they can do the same for you. I was tired, groggy, just didn't really feel like myself. Thought, okay, this is how it has to change. You're getting older. This is how it is. but it doesn't have to be that way. You can get that energy to attack your day like I do by going to Mentality. You go through their process, get a blood panel done. If your testosterone levels are low, you can work with Mentality, and they can give you a customized testosterone treatment plan. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more, lowtusa.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
You've heard me talk about Professional Construction, Inc. over the years. We have certainly enjoyed having Mike and Michelle and their fantastic team help us out on most of our home projects. And you should consider PCI for your next remodeling project or home addition, or if you're thinking about building a new home. PCI's team is absolutely here for you. It is a family-owned company. I cannot say enough about the job they did as they renovated our basement, just gave us the extra space that our family needs as we continue to grow, and everybody wants to be doing all of the things at once. We also want to congratulate PCI for celebrating their 20th anniversary this summer. You can learn more about PCI at professionalconstructioninc.com and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
After 30 years of doing knee and hip replacements, Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup thought there had to be a better way, and that led him to regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it.
Now, after 20 years of successful orthobiologic treatments, lots of clinical data, research, and teaching, Dr. Scheinkup is National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
They've done an amazing job of becoming the most significant orthobiologic and regenerative medicine practice in the United States. QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
So if you have chronic pain from arthritis and you want to avoid drugs and surgery, call the experts in this revolutionary field, QC Kinetics.
To give patients real lasting relief from pain, that's what I live for. That's my mission.
Get your free consultation now. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Do you have a car, boat, ATV, or motorcycle taking up space in storage or your garage? Homer here, asking you to consider donating it to Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a local faith-based nonprofit organization dedicated to inspiring and equipping at-risk youth and their families. They need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping troubled youths transform their lives. Visit rawhide.org/donate and learn how you can help today.
He just smashed it out of the park. Speaking of smashing, have you heard about Orange Smash?
Oh, you mean the Devil's Backbone Distilling Company canned cocktail? The one with real fruit juice, real vodka, and a splash of bubbles? It's a home run in a can.
It's the perfect drink for game day, whether you're tailgating at the ballpark or watching from home.
Find Orange Smash canned cocktails at Woodman's, Festival Food, or Pick and Save. Visit drinkasmash.com to learn more. Remember, always enjoy responsibly.
Catholic Memorial Football is back this Friday.
Inside the 30, he's going to be gone. You cannot catch that speed. M.J. Mitchell all the way into the end zone.
The Crusaders return to action on ESPN Milwaukee Friday night with a big-time matchup against Franklin. Crusaders football is presented by R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30, right here on 94.5 ESPN or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You want more physical harm beset upon people who are trying to earn a living.
I want winners. If someone has to die in order for us to win, then that's the price you pay.
On 94.5 ESPN.
All right, Josh has something that he has to get off his chest, I guess. I don't know. Something's happening. What's up, Josh?
28 minutes ago, the Wisconsin DOT tweeted, lane closures are common when entering work zones. Resist the urge of being, quote, Midwest nice by merging early. Do the zipper merge instead, using both lanes and taking turns at the merge point can help clear backups and keep traffic moving nicely. They took that's my whole thing.
I mean, I wish they'd give you credit, bud, but...
What the heck?
Wilde and Tausch coming your way next.
43 from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for delays from about 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound still has some backups from just east of Highway 83, pretty much